All right, we got more Rutgers news. Let's get to it. Okay, so quiet time is not so quiet. I absolutely love that. Uh, Imagine not having anything to talk about regarding Rutgers for several months at a time. Rutgers basketball has landed an international prospect, and we have more NFL invites. So let's get on with it. We have a Rutgers basketball lands Heron's Mo, 21-year-old shooter from who played professionally, KK Slovenia. He is Bosnian Herzegovinian. He was a class of 2025 prospect, previously committed to Indiana prior to Mike Woodson's retirement, prompting his wanting to move on. He also visited Villanova, Miami, and got interest from Maryland, Creighton, and Wisconsin. All good programs. And football gets a couple more invites. We have on the invite list, invite to the party, we have Christian Dremel, who was invited to Giants camp, who I thought would be a really good fit for the Giants special team punt return, kick return needs. He's also getting an invite to the Kansas City Chiefs. Boy, I mean, talk about fortune smiling on you. And we also have an invite for, don't laugh at, long snappers. Austin Riggs getting invited to the Minnesota Vikings to their mini camp, and Malcolm Ray also getting invited to the Kansas City Chiefs. Flip Dixon getting an invite to the Buffalo Bills. We'll get to all of that in just a second. Let's talk some hoops. We need help in basketball. We think we got a rim protector and Bay Fall. We'll see about that. But we have a prospect in Heron Zmo, a pure shooter. And she is essentially catch and shoot shooter. We'll get to all of that in a second. Brian Secker kind of reported on this today. Here's some quotes from Heron. He made the decision after the first call with Coach Peichel. Coach Peichel, players love Coach Peichel. They just can't seem to get to the next level with him. He said that it was very easy to make the decision. This is the right place for me where I will have the opportunity to play and improve my game. I will bring a lot of work, energy, and desire to win. He gets the whole Jersey vibe right off the bat. Bring your lunch pail, get to work. He continues to say, I'm someone who will always play for the win, who will always give 100% on the court. That will bring a lot of good energy and previous experience. Those were quotes from NewJersey.com. Brian Fonseca today. He is the fourth edition for the offseason for Rutgers, joining Darren Buchanan, forward from George Washington, Bay or by Fall from Kansas State, Tariq Francis, guard from NJIT. Now, he's a bigger guard. We talked about early on how we wanted to get longer, more athletic, more defensive oriented, although that won't be the case here. 6'6", 6'7", depending on whose numbers you listen to, 210 pounds. He was featured in 14 games for KK's Slaviša, and it's a professional club based out of Sarajevo that plays in the Bosnian first division. He averaged 17.5 points, 3.6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, while shooting 50% from the field. And get this, he's not a Rutgers guy. He shot almost 44% from three, 43.7%. So that's a need and something that we haven't had since Cam Spencer left, and we generally don't have. 77% from free throw, 3.6 rebounds and assists, 1.2 steals, and 3 turnovers a game. Here's a weird thing. He's 21 years old. So, and he's going to have 4 years of eligibility. So coach will now have one of those older guys that he lamented that we had to play against this past year. My, how the tables have turned. So people are going to like this from this aspect. On the surface, we need a shooter. We need a three-point shooter. As I said, something we haven't had since Cam left, 44% shooter from three-point range. But here's what's weird. And it doesn't, Heron's or Haroon, however we might say this, I'm not really sure. We'll find out soon enough. I'll just say Haroon for now. If you're almost a 44% free throw shooter, 77%, 44% three-point shooter, if you're shooting 77% from the free throw line, that's kind of a disconnect. 77% is kind of, it's meh. It's mid, as the kids say today. If you're going to hit, you look at Cam Spencer, 44%, 44% three-point shooter, 90% from free throws. So a little bit of a surprise there. So I watched a little bit of video on him, not a lot out there. Typical Eastern European player, kind of finesse, soft catch and shooter, lacks athleticism, doesn't create his own offense, doesn't create his own shot. Not sure about the defense. I'm going to guess there won't be much there. We saw how Cam Spencer was a defensive liability. I suspect the same might happen with Haroon here. Has a backwards lean to his shot, which is kind of odd, but, like Ace, it goes in. But the easy comparison will be to Cam, and he'll have some of those similar traits. A couple inches taller, not as good a free throw shooter. Probably a liability on defense. He's Jimmer Fredette to me, without the free throw shooting. Jimmer Fredette was a good free throw shooter. I think he was like 88% free throw shooter. Pure, and he can go to the basket a little bit. Pure catch and shoot, scoring shooter kind of guy. I'm sure a lot of people saying, yay, great, we need that. But he is not the combo guard that Coach Peichel was looking for. Doesn't have great athleticism. Isn't going to be, he's long, but I don't think that defense is going to be there. He is not, a Steve Peichel kind of guy. So the question begs, who's going to play defense? The guys on the night report, Alec, Mike, and Richie, are like, who's going to score on the team? So now, Haroon kind of could be that guy, but my question is, if we're going to go back the way that we used to play, with core values of playing defense, who's playing defense? Out of the starters? Dylan Grant? Maybe Bay, or is it By? We'll have to find out about that one too. If he starts, hopefully he will start. Buchanan's an effort guy. He's not a defensive stalwart, but, that remains to be seen. I love those kind of guys who put in the effort, but not technically proficient on defense. Bryce Storch coming off the bench, but he's probably not going to be getting a lot of starting minutes. if we're going to be the defense we used to be, we're not there. This team, I thought if we could get back to those core values of bringing your lunch pail, grit, determination, defense, length, athleticism, we can be 15-17 with or without Ace and Dylan. But this team is a mishmash of guys that potentially have some offensive upside from lower programs that we don't know what they're going to be, and guys that might be able to play some defense. We're not really sure yet. I mean, so what does that mean for our identity? Not exactly Caleb McConnell, Paul McKay, Cliff Omoyuri, Mawat Mag, and Miles Johnson. I mean, who wouldn't take that lineup right now? I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to like this because they want to see the shooter and the scorer. But he's, to me, from what I've seen, and I hope he proves me wrong, one-dimensional spot-up catch-and-shoot shooter. Okay, maybe he's a better version of what P.J. Hayes was supposed to be this year. Remains to be seen. I'm not going to let the need for shooter override the fact that we have a bunch of guys that are kind of a mishmash of skill sets, and we don't know what they are yet. So the projected lineup going forward with their years of eligibility: Maniac Boley has 1 year left. Guards: Jermichael Davis and Tariq Francis, 2 years. Darren Buchanan and Bay Fall have 2 years left. 3 years left: Dylan Grant and Bryce Storch. And I think these are the kind of guys, kind of long, can play some defense, kind of want to build around some core values and a style that those guys aren't sexy, but that's something to watch out for. And in 4 years of eligibility will be Haroon, Zmo, Alino Mark, Caden Powers, both freshman guards, Chris Nwili, big power forward, and Javante Ware, most likely a center. So we'll see what happens. I keep saying, boy, it's going to be interesting how basketball rebuilds so far. I don't want to say I'm underwhelmed, but it's like head scratching insofar as what do we make with this? I don't really know. It's going to be an interesting experiment to see what these guys are like on the court. Let's get to football, Rutgers football, and invites. 4 Rutgers football players, and Flip Dixon, defensive back, gets an invite to the Buffalo Bills, who kind of needed some help in that category. I know they were hot on the trail of Robert Longerbeam past couple months. Excuse me, but Robert winds up going to the dark side in Jim Harbaugh with the Los Angeles Chargers. Flip was good size, 6'2", 210. Hopefully he'll be able to land a roster spot. And, we want these guys to do well. And I liked Flip. Whenever somebody has a really fun nickname, Flip Dixon seems to be a pretty, a good guy. He's kind of introspective. He's not real vocal or puts himself out front. We wish him well and hope he can latch on to the Buffalo Bills. Christian Dremel, after getting an invite to the Giants, which I love, Giants and Jets have to do a better job of saying what's in their backyard because we have a lot of guys on Rutgers. What are we up to now? 12 or 13 guys that were drafted, signed as UDFAs, or invited to camp. We need to get a volume of guys into the pipeline to help build the Rutgers brand. Nonetheless, Dremel, I thought, would be a really good fit for the Giants as a special teams player because Giants special teams, kick return, punt returns were not great. They were ranked in the 20s. Dremel is a guy that You want to talk about ball security? This is a guy that's not going to drop the ball, fumble. He had one this past year, as I said in my previous video. And when it happened, when I was sitting in section 124, I was like, what? He fell on it. He recovered it. No harm, no foul. But he also gets an invite to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, boy, you talk about fortune smiling upon you. You can join Isaiah Pacheco and Michael Burton, who moved on with the Lions now. Chiefs kind of need some help in the kick return, punt return department. They had Mecole Hardman and Sky Moore, but they need more production. We'll see what happens there. But I think Dremel will surprise people as a Z receiver. So good luck to Christian. Hope he lands with the Giants and not with the Chiefs. Malcolm Ray, defensive lineman, also getting an invite from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Chiefs going into the draft needed some D-line and edge help. They drafted Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle from Tennessee, in the second. I thought it was a little bit of overreach in my mocks. I had him third. If he dropped to the fourth, okay, it was a really good value there. And they also took Ashton Gillette, edge from Louisville, in the third. I thought that was a little bit of a reach as well. Nonetheless, not sure if Malcolm, considering Kansas City's approach in the draft, is going to be able to latch on with them. Good luck to him. And Austin Riggs, long snapper, invited to Minnesota Vikings camp. However you can get there, you get there. We wish Austin Riggs, who transferred into Rutgers, and we wish him all the best. So there we have it. Even though it's the off season and supposed to be quiet season in the new world of the transfer portal, NFL draft, free agency, there's always going to be some news going on. We'll see. Basketball's got a couple more spots to fill. We'll see what happens. No pun intended, down the pike, what the final roster for Rutgers looks like. Boy, but I'm telling you, it's this is a strange hodgepodge kind of roster. The pieces of the puzzle, I'm trying to figure it all out. Am I alone with this? I can't really figure out what we're going to look like, what our style and personality is going to be. Nonetheless, everybody enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you the next time. And go are you.